Hello there, guys, and welcome to Daily Updates. The Economic Freedom Fighters has just released a statement to confirm the resignation from Parliament of Mbuyiseni Ndlozi and Dr. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi. The resignations are not surprising because once you lose a place in the CCT, it means there is no place anywhere for you. I've said it before, once Mbuyiseni Ndlozi loses his place in the CCT, it means he cannot go and be a member of Parliament. The only way for him is to resign. So the EFF released a media statement confirming the resignation, and in that statement they say that the EFF has received the voluntary resignations of fighter Mbuyiseni Ndlozi and fighter Dr. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi as representatives of the EFF in Parliament of South Africa. The voluntary request to be released from deployment, which were sent to the Secretary General of the EFF consecutively and within days of each other, expressed gratitude to the EFF for the opportunity to serve the organization and the people of South Africa. The EFF has accepted the respective voluntary request to be released from deployment of the two fighters, who have diligently served the organization in their respective deployments since the EFF has had representative in the legislature's peer. Fighter Ndlozi has served in the Eastern Cape Provincial Legislature and subsequently the Parliament of South Africa, while fighter Dr. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi has served in the National Assembly since 2014. They have both been exemplary in their deployments and acted as commendable public representatives. The EFF wishes the fighters well in their future endeavors.
I'd like to call a point of order, House Chair, because a government minister cannot deliberately mislead the House. There is no sovereign wealth fund in this country. You must withdraw. There's no such a thing. At this stage where you are, it's not those talks by the streets you are having. You must speak facts on behalf of a government. There's no sovereign wealth fund in this country. You must withdraw. Take us serious here.
Honourable Minister, can you please proceed?
Your peers, you always talk about education, Honorable Ndlozi. Your peers are delivering papers while you are ice boy here being sent around. Must not come to me. Don't tell me.
Now we have seen the letter. The EFF says that it is not them, but the two fighters who voluntarily decided that they are going to resign from Parliament. Now, I've said it before, and I'm saying it again. There was no way that Mbuyiseni was going to be a member of Parliament. And you look at all the members who were in Parliament of the EFF. Mbuyiseni stood tall amongst them. Mbuyiseni was that EFF brain in Parliament that you really have to sit down and listen to him. The aura of Mbuyiseni Ndlozi is the one that made people want to sit there and listen to EFF. Now the same aura has decided to voluntarily resign from Parliament. You look at that issue and look at the whole issue surrounding Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, it must tell you that what follows after resigning, it would be resigning from the party. Ultimately, he cannot be a member of the party because you lose your salary in Parliament. What are you going to be earning if you leave Parliament? There must be a way to earn something because Mbuyiseni Ndlozi was really focusing on the salary from Parliament. Hence, at one of the podcasts, there was an issue that was mentioned about the fact that a certain member of EFF requested that can they look into the matter of Parliament, how much package he has. And I think that was Mbuyiseni Ndlozi because he wanted to have that escape route, which was at the package of Parliament. Parliament was the only source of income for Mbuyiseni Ndlozi. If he no longer has that income, can he be a member of the EFF, sit there and just be a normal member of EFF, no powers, nothing, no salary, unless they decide to deploy him somewhere in the legislature, which is going to be a downgrade for Mbuyiseni Ndlozi. But you cannot really feel sorry for him. He had all this time to decide, where can I go before these guys pull a trigger. Once they say that voluntary, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is voluntary. It can be voluntary after you were persuaded that, my man, you have to take this decision because we don't want to be painted bad as people who are chasing you. You were not part of the elective conference Now you are no longer part of parliament. You are just a normal Mbuyiseni. Mbuyiseni risks losing all that he has done, losing all that he has built in politics. He's still a young man in politics. But if he doesn't find a right channel to bring himself up, you are not in parliament. What else can you do? Can you go and join a labor union? What else can you do with that intelligence that you have as Mbuyiseni Ndlozi? Whatever that he decides, he needs to be careful that I'm taking a decision or a route that is going to build that which I've started in the EFF. It is safe to say that Mbuyiseni Ndlozi's life in the EFF has come to an end. His reign in the EFF has just finished. He can no longer be that admired member of the EFF because they have stripped him of any power he had in the EFF. If Mbuyiseni thought that he has won up the leaders of the EFF by enjoying the support of the people on the ground, he really miscalculated, because what is happening now is that Mbuyiseni, you are loved on the ground, but the leaders, the bigger ones, have just shown you that you can play politics by not being a favorite. He is the favorite, he was the favorite, but that favorite sees himself on the outside. The only way for him to redeem himself is to join another political party. It is not going to work for him to go to vets. It is never going to work. I think join another political party, start from the ground and find your way. We saw how influential you were in parliament, but of now, you are no longer useful in politics. For you to redeem yourself is to go somewhere. Anyway, guys, we will be looking at what Mbuyiseni Ndlozi is deciding on. What is the next road? What is the next decision? Because it is a shame to see Mbuyiseni being sidelined like he is. I am not happy with the issue of voluntary resigning. If it is indeed voluntary, it means the man realized that there is no future. But otherwise, if it is not voluntary, it means a word was there to say that, Mbuyiseni, we cannot have you occupying that seat while there are CCT members who are more bigger than you. You have to vacate that seat so that legit members of the economic freedom fighters can occupy that seat. My man Mbuyiseni, time is not up for you. You still have a chance, but what are you going to decide? Whatever you decide, you need to be careful that you are not a laughing stock, that history that you built does not get buried. You still have a lot to offer as a doctor.